Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to touch on complex schedules. Complex schedules are when you take simple schedules and you combine them together. This is utilized in therapy a lot. You can also use it to describe what's going on in your world. So, when we combine what's a complex schedule, it's when we're going to combine multiple schedules together. So, it will use a combination of two or more simple reinforcement schedules to shape behavior. This supports flexible, real world behavior. So, they help develop behavior that can adapt to dynamic environments rather than be tied to a single rule. It's used in advanced skill teaching. When you're in the beginning, you'll often use simple schedules. And this might be targeting maintenance, generalization, or behavior reduction. Why do they matter? The natural environments often include blended contingencies. So, real world situations involve multiple rules and reinforcement schedules working together. They're really helpful to prevent prompt dependency. So, just in the same way that those variable schedules sort of are resistant to extinction and last longer, so do complex schedules. They're help build flexible, generalized behaviors that don't rely on specific cues. So, they just continually occur within the environment when you leave and you stop doing therapy. They also can build persistence, navigate varied reinforcement patterns, encouraging learners to keep trying, and match reinforcement to real life patterns. They reflect natural contingencies, support maintenance, and generalization of skills. A lot of our natural reinforcement contingencies are multiple schedules operating at once, or sometimes one operates and then the other something changes. We need to produce behavior in these real worlds, so it gets people kind of used to that. They'll engage in behavior without the cues, without reinforcement, which leads to generalization. I'm going to talk about two examples of complex schedules so you can better understand them. You do not need to know these for any exams. If you go on to higher level certifications, you would need to know these. So it's kind of a nice introduction, but just kind of take it in and so you can kind of understand how this all works. Our first example is multiple schedules. So it's multiple just means we're going to combine two or more reinforcement schedules that alternate. A key with these complex schedules is the SD, the discriminative stimuli. So is there a discriminative stimuli or is there not? If there is, there's something in the environment telling somebody, oh, it's this schedule, now it's this schedule. Now, this is stimulus control. It's all discrimination training. So it will help make the schedule more clear, but this doesn't always happen in the natural environment. So when it doesn't happen in the natural, there are, just like there's any schedule with the SDs, there's a type of schedule that doesn't have the SDs. So the person doesn't know when the schedule's coming or changing. But within multiple RSDs, it allows for teaching stimulus control, such as waiting or tolerating denial, by providing learners with clear cues for when reinforcement is available and when it is not available. Chain schedules is a complex reinforcement schedule that involves a sequence of two or more schedules, each with a discriminative stimuli. The learner must complete the tasks or behaviors required in each part of the sequence to get the final reinforcement. The difference between multiple and chain schedules is with the multiple schedule, you don't need to do both schedules to get reinforcement. As long as you engage in enough reinforcement, engage in enough behavior, you'll get the reinforcement. With chain, you have to complete all the schedules to get the reinforcement, but they do have those separate SDs. Conjunctive is the third type. Conjunctive is a complex schedule where reinforcement is only delivered when both time response, a timed and response condition are met. So there's a time response there's an interval time response and a ratio responding condition running at the same time, and they have to meet it all. They have to meet both. So they have to engage in 4 responses within the time interval, but they're not going to get reinforcement until the time interval's over, let's say 3 minutes. So within the 3 minutes, they must engage in the 4 responses. And then once the 3 minutes are over their first response, they would get reinforcement. There's no SDs here. It's combining 2 different types, both an interval and a ratio schedule. There's a lot more, quite a few of these that you would have to know if you were to go on. I have a whole study course with lots of examples of these. So if you get to that time, please check out adastudyguide.com. You need to know what a complex schedule is, that some have SDs, some don't, and they're mixing these simple schedules up all together. Key takeaways are multiple rules work together or in sequence. Complex schedules combine 2 or more simple reinforcement schedules to shape flexible real-world behavior. They'll be seen in treatment plans, token systems, or behavior protocols. Behavior technicians should be able to recognize the different types of complex schedules and support them. Real-life contingencies. So many natural environments have blended reinforcement schedules, so complex schedules help match our reinforcement to real-life patterns. They focus on recognizing cues, tracking time responses, or fading support. They allow us to do all those things: recognize the student's cues, track time or responses, and fade supports. They help your clients, your learners identify the relevant SDs, and it will reduce their reliance on prompts. Complex schedules combine 2 or more simple schedules to shape inflexible real-world behavior, and it helps prevent prompt dependency, build persistence, and match reinforcement to the natural patterns of the environment.